Hello students, good morning. Today I am going to start second chapter of class 7 science and the chapter name is nutrition in animals. So students, first we will discuss the topics of the chapter on which we will focus in this chapter. So these topics are different modes of taking food, steps in the process of nutrition, modes of nutrition in animals, human digestive system and digestive system in ruminants. So students, this chapter is very important and very interesting. So if you will pay attention and listen carefully, then you will understand all the topics and you will enjoy it. Let's begin. Students, this chapter starts with a common topic that is food, because food is the topic from which you all are familiar, because you have studied this topic in your sixth class also, and you all are knowing that food is our basic requirement. Food contains lots of nutrients which provide us energy, and these nutrients are helpful in the growth and maintenance of our life. That's why food is very important. All of you knowing that directly or indirectly, all animals, including human beings, we are dependent on plants. So, on the basis of food habit, animals are of three types: herbivores, carnivores, and omnivores. All of you knowing herbivore word is made up of two words, that is herbi and vor. Herbi means herbs, vor means eaters, means the animals which feed on herbs. Herbs means plants or plant parts. Such type of animals are called herbivores. As for example, cow, buffalo, horse, these are herbivores. Then second type of animals are carnivores. Carnivore word is made up of two words, that is carni and vorus. Carni means flesh and vorus means eaters, means the animals which eat flesh of other animals. They are called carnivores, as for example lion, tiger, panther, etc. Then omnivores. Omnivore word is made up of two words, omni and vorus. Omni means all and vorus means eaters, means the animals which eat everything. Everything means they eat plants as well as animals. So they eat everything. Such type of animals are called omnivores. Omnivores, for example of omnivores are deer and sparrow, etc. Next topic of this chapter is nutrition. So from this topic also you all are familiar, because nutrition is the process of taking food and its utilization by the body of organism. So utilization means that food means, suppose we are taking food, we are ingesting it, after that it will be digested and energy is released, and that energy is utilized in performing all daily life activities. Now, from where we get energy? From the food. So some chemical compounds are present in our food, and these chemical compounds are called nutrients, and from that nutrients we get energy. So all of you knowing, seven main type of nutrients are present in the food, that is carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, minerals, water and dietary fiber, means roughage. Now students, these nutrients are present in food, but they're present in very complex form. Means if we think that we directly take the food and we will get the energy, it will not happen, because that nutrients are present in very complex form. And for getting energy, it has to be broken down into the smaller parts. So the process in which larger food molecules are broken down into smaller and soluble forms, this process is called digestion. So the three nutrients which are present in our food, that is carbohydrates, proteins and fats, these nutrients are broken down into smaller pieces. Means basically these three nutrients are digested in our body, and rest all vitamins, minerals, and water, they are absorbed, and roughage, all of you knowing, roughage is required for the proper digestion and it helps in the elimination of undigested food from our body. So students, carbohydrates get digested into simple sugars, proteins get digested into amino acids, and fat get digested into fatty acids and glycerol. Now, different modes of taking food. These are the different modes of taking food in different animals. See, hummingbirds and bees suck the nectar of plants. Infants of human and other animals feed on mother's milk. Snakes like python swallow the whole animal. Lizards, frogs, and chameleon have long sticky tongues to catch their prey. And aquatic animal filter teeny particles floating nearby. Now, steps in the process of nutrition. So students, the process of nutrition consists of 5 processes. Here in this chapter, we have to study about the holozoic nutrition. So what is holozoic nutrition? Holozoic nutrition means when any organism eats solid food, then it is called holozoic nutrition. Now, the various steps involved in the process of nutrition are ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, and egestion. So first of all, we will discuss about ingestion. The intake of food is called ingestion. Means we are taking food in our mouth. That process is called ingestion. So it involves capturing of food and eating it. And method of ingestion, that is taking of food, varies. Varies means changes from one animal to another animal. Means different type of animal shows different type of process of ingestion. Next topic is digestion. So this is the process by which ingested food material is broken down into simpler and soluble forms that can be absorbed by the body fluids and then the tissue of the body. So just like ingestion, the process of digestion also varies from different animals. Now, digestion includes 2 types of processes. First one is mechanical or physical digestion, and second one is chemical digestion. So students, mechanical digestion includes the process of chewing or grinding or churning, mixing or peristaltic movement, and chemical digestion includes the action of digestive enzymes, biles or acids, etc. So, mechanical digestion includes the chewing and grinding of food by the teeth and also the churning and mixing of the contents of the stomach. So, basically, students, the digestion of food starts in our mouth, and first of all, food is digested physically, means mechanically, it digested by the chewing and grinding of food by our teeth. Next, chemical process means chemical process of digestion takes place with the help of acids, enzymes or biles, etc. So chemical digestion of food also starts in mouth with the action of saliva, in which one enzyme is present, and that enzyme is salivary amylase. However, most of the chemical digestion occurs in the stomach and small intestine. So I think digestion is clear when the larger food molecule is broken down into the smaller, simpler and soluble form, then this process is called digestion. Digestion is of 2 types, mechanical and physical digestion and chemical digestion. Now, third step is absorption. So after the process of digestion, digested nutrients are absorbed by body fluids. Body fluids means blood or lymph. In the small intestine, this process is called absorption. Now, fourth step is assimilation. So the conversion of absorbed food in complex substances is called assimilation. These absorbed nutrients are used to obtain energy, and this energy is utilized by body of organisms in their Daily life activities means first of all food get digested. After digestion food get absorbed by the body fluids, and these body fluids, especially blood, takes the digested nutrients and distribute the digested nutrients to the cells, and in the cells again digested nutrients get converted into complex substances. This process is called assimilation. Now next and last step is egestion. So removal of waste material from the body is called egestion. The waste of food left after digestion is called feces. The fecal matter is removed through the anus from time to time. The process of egestion is also called as defecation. This image shows the five steps of nutrition. Now we will discuss mode of nutrition in animals. So in this we will discuss the process of nutrition in some unicellular organisms, in insects, and in human beings. So first of all, we will discuss the nutrition in amoeba. Students, you all are knowing that amoeba is a microscopic, unicellular, and aquatic organism. Unicellular, all of you knowing unicellular means they are made up of one cell only. That's why they're called unicellular. All of you have studied about unicellular and multicellular organism in 6th class. Unicellular means one cell, means the organism which is made up of one cell, and the organisms which are made up of many cells, they are called as multicellular organisms. So amoeba is microscopic, aquatic, and unicellular organism. They are made up of one cell and they are so tiny, that's why they cannot be seen without microscope. We can see them just by using microscope, that's why we call them as microscopic. And aquatic means, all of you knowing, aquatic means they live in water. Students, one very interesting thing with the amoeba, that their shape is variable, means they are not having any fixed or any particular shape. They changes their shape. They are made up of single cell, and the cell has cell membrane, means the outer covering of the cell. They having one nucleus and many vacuoles. Amoeba has tiny finger-like outgrowths or projections called pseudopodia. The pseudopodia is also called as false feet. False means fake, not real. The pseudopodia helps in movement and capture of food. It aids on tiny organisms which are smaller than their own size. When any small organism comes close to amoeba, it spreads out its pseudopodia around the food particle and engulf it. Means initially it pushes out its pseudopodia, means its false feet, and encircle the food. After this, engulf the food into a bag-like structure called food vacuole, into which digestive juices or digestive enzymes are present, which are secreted and convert the food into simpler substances. Now the digested food is absorbed by the cell of amoeba, which is required for growth and multiplication of amoeba. The undigested food is expelled out by the vacuole through body surface. So this is the process of nutrition in amoeba. Next is nutrition in paramecium. Paramecium is also a tiny unicellular organism. You can see the structure of paramecium. So it is also a teeny unicellular organism which live in water. Its shape resembles to the shape of sole of a shoe, so it is also called as sleeper animalcule. Its whole body is covered with hair-like structure called cilia. It uses its hair-like cilia to sweep the food particles from water, and then put them into mouth. And next processes of nutrition will be same as happens in the amoeba. Means first of all, the small animal get entrapped, then put into the mouth like structure, then they go inside the vacuole, then digestive enzyme will secrete, food will be digested, absorbed by the cell, and ejected out from the body. Next, nutrition in hydra. So hydra is a simple multicellular animal. Now this is not unicellular. This hydra is multicellular animal. It has a number of tentacles around its mouth which are used for ingestion of food. These tentacles entangle small aquatic animals and push them into their mouth. Now inside their body, digestive juices, means digestive enzymes, are secreted by the cells which digest the food. Now the digested food is absorbed through the cells of the body of hydra. Now we will see nutrition in insects. So first of all, we will see nutrition in houseflies. So students, all of you knowing, houseflies do not have any chewing mouth part. It has a long tube-like structure called proboscis, from which it secretes some saliva, and its saliva digestive enzymes are present. So first of all, houseflies sit on the food, then secrete saliva on the food which has digestive enzyme, will soften and liquefy the food, making solution, and suck up the dissolved food through the proboscis. Now we will see the nutrition in mosquito. Now mosquitoes feed by the process of piercing and sucking. Generally both male and female mosquitoes suck the nectar of flowers, but only female one feed on blood of animals, and they are ectoparasites. Ectoparasite, about parasite you have studied. Parasites are the organisms that feed on another organism. Ectoparasite means that organism which are living outside the body of host and take nutrition from the host. So mosquitoes are ectoparasites. So the female one only feed on the blood of animals. They have long mouth parts, means tube-like structure, tube-like mouth part called proboscis, and then they pierce the skin of the host by using their proboscis, inject their saliva, and suck up the blood from the skin. Now students, butterflies also suck the nectar from flowers through their proboscis. Honeybees also use their proboscis to suck up the nectar of flower, but they perform a very special dance when they get the food source. This is very interesting. When they get the food source, they come back to their hive. They give the information about the location of food source to the other bees by a dance. They perform two type of dances. When the food source is near the hive, they perform round dance. And if the location of the food is away from the hive, then they start dancing in all direction. This type of dance is called waggle dance. And students, they keep on dancing until they get faint. So this is the nutrition in insects. Next part is the nutrition in humans, that we will discuss in next part of the video. I hope you all understood all the topics. So please prepare these topics. I will come in next video with the next part of the chapter. Thank you, students.